what they are introducing to us is not refined. Many of us that are postulators of theories, I'm talking about people in my contemporary, people that are doing the things I'm doing, people that have gone deep into early childhood education, that we know are left from our right, we know what works where. They are not even factoring us in. They don't rate us at all. They don't rate us. They are not important to them. And doing that means they are shortchanging the Nigerian children. And that will bring out something that everybody will accept. Why did I go? It's very important. It's a very important factor. It's a very important factor. We've been in this early childhood education program, training teachers for the past 8 years. I've been training teachers. I'm not talking about the ones I've done when treasures are not coming. I'm talking about the ones we've done when we say the name of this institution will be treasures. It's 8 years. But this year, we decided we want to have a model nursery and primary school. So the next question is, why? Why? Number one, our students, that's our student teachers, we've been having problems with where they will do internship when they finish their program. We've tried 2 or 3 places. Presently, we are with Lagos State. We've been using, for 3 years now, we've been using Lagos State schools, special day schools. And the reason is because we don't have any good Montessori school close to us at all. The closest we have, Mr. Icon, I think you should help me shift this shelf back so that she can rest her back on it. It's shaking. Is it okay? Maybe it's possible. Okay. Now, the closest we have is Ikeja, Ilupeju, Prangrove. The question you want to ask is, Alimosho is the biggest local government in Lagos State. As big as Alimosho is, do you want to tell me, Mr. Obadari, that there is no Montessori school? Yes, there are Montessori schools, but they are actually teaching Montessori. Montessori, and you know that Montessori is different from Montessori. I'm talking about schools that have materials that don't know how to use them. I'm talking about schools that wrote Montessori big, very big like this on their walls. But the moment you step your feet into their compound, you know that this is not a Montessori school. How I know, somebody like me know, you will learn it as time goes on. There are so many things you will see that you know, no. This can't be a Montessori school. Even from the way they hang things on the wall, you know that this is not a Montessori school. For example, in a Montessori school, everything that will be in the Montessori room or in the Montessori environment must be at the child's eye level, at the child's reach. The child must be able to go to the shelf and pick something. So you can't be saying, I'm running a Montessori school, and then this bead cabinet, I hang it on the wall here. Please, how the children will go and remove something from this bead cabinet on the wall? Sure, they will climb. Or how will they do it? You understand? So those literally good morning. Okay. It's just sit down. We have started. You can stay there. Now, I went to a Montessori school some times ago, and they claim to be doing phonics. And the color of the paper they used to cut their letters was purple and white. That's a big no. That's a big no. So they don't need to tell me they are doing Montessori. They don't need. Montessori is like Christianity. I like Montessori to be like Christianity. And I used to tell people, don't tell me you're a Christian. Let me see the Christ in you. When you are a Christian, you are a real Christian, the virtues of Christianity will be seen. It is people that will say, I'm sure she's a Christian. I'm not talking about she's not wearing yari, she's not wearing chain. That one is not Christianity. That will not take you to any heaven. Your behavior, your character, your mannerisms, your body language, the way you talk to people, the way you treat people, the way you attend to people, the way you are in control of your emotions, even at the face of provocation and crisis, you have a control over yourself. Montessori did this to me. I've been in education for 18 years before I started the journey of Montessori. So I knew who I was, where I was coming from, and who I later became when Montessori came. Montessori affected my home, my children, because when you change, your home will change. When you change, everything around you will change. Everything around you will change. That's how powerful Montessori is. Please, can I get the handout? Can we get the handout? Please, give it to us. So, be ready for a journey. Go inside. Mrs. Fashakin, last room inside. Be ready for a journey that is going to transform you. Be ready for a journey that you will unlearn everything you have learned. Unlearn it. Don't be hard. No, math has to be. No. Because in Montessori, everything is separation. Something must come, then another thing follows. Something must come, then another thing follows. So that thing you are expecting might not have come. Don't be in a hurry. The first thing I'm going to be talking about are the myths of Montessori. The myths. M-Y-T-H-S. The myths of Montessori. I hope you know the meaning of myths. The lies. Let me just tell you the lies. What Montessori is not. That people have been saying. This one. Which one is this one that you talk about? Is that for me? Okay. You give them when we go on break. We'll give them when we go on break. So the myth of Montessori. People said Montessori is for special needs children. Children that are disabled. That's a myth. The children Dr. Maria Montessori practiced with, she used as a prototype in Rome, they were not special needs children. They were disadvantaged children. Children that, how many of you know Ajebule? Slum. What I'm talking about, slum. You know, slum trenches. Where raw children. There were children like that. In San Lorenzo. There's a place called San Lorenzo in Italy. As at that time, there were children from low-income families that their parents could not even afford to send them to school. So they were not special needs children. They were not disabled. So Montessori is not a program for special needs children. Because that's why some people are not practicing Montessori in their school. I know a school owner that said, no, I'm not running a special needs school. Why should I be practicing Montessori? However, Montessori is one of the best methods that can accommodate children with special needs. Because a lot of children with special needs can only learn through hands-on activities. Hands-on activities. And Montessori I think Montessori is the best method that you can use for children that have neurodivergent brains or that have developmental challenges that are not meeting their milestones. There are a lot of materials here that can help them meet their milestones. Like in the sensorial shelf here, these are Montessori bells. These bells are Montessori bells. A child that has auditory problem, hearing problem, with the constant use of these Montessori bells, this child can be helped to start hearing. You understand? There are also sensorial materials. There are so many sensorial materials here that can help children that have autism. Because autistic children have sensory issues. They have issues with textures and feelings. There are a lot of material here that can help. Can you give me that? No, that on that. Yes, thank you. Now these are one of the materials we use. Can you bring the camera to me? These are one of the materials we use for children who have issues with pincer grip. Children who have issues with pincer grip, they are not writing well. Or manipulatives for children 2 to 3 years that we want to introduce to writing. This is one of the materials we give to them to pop. Now look at the fingers I'm using to pop. You see those fingers are the tripod fingers. Those are the fingers I'm using to pop. So if a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old can pop this material the way I'm popping it, you see that those fingers are going to develop a lot of feelings. The same way with special needs, with children that are autistic. Another thing this material will do is it has sound. It has sound when you're popping it. You're hearing the sound when you're popping it. It's going to help a child's auditory sense. So one of the things we do first when children come in, that we're going to be doing in a nursery and primary school, is that we're going to cut into bits for them and make sure we start engaging them with this. We can engage them with this for a month. Before we put pencils into those hands, we train those hands. We train those hands before we ever put pencils there. Aside from that, we have specific type of pencils we put there called finger fitters or tripod pencils, not the regular tin pencils. You understand? So now this is where professionalism starts. I just did that for you as an example for you to know that professionalism is not I'm an early years teacher. I have certificate. I have PhD in early childhood education. In this school, inside that place, I have masters who have masters in early childhood education inside that place. But some of these things I'm talking about, they don't know. And that's why they came here. They already have masters. I used to say there is a difference between certificate and certificates. There is certificates, we have paper. There is certificates. You can have a PhD in early childhood education, but you can't work where I'm working because I have certificates. I have so many things I can use to help children. And the essence of your professionalism is that you can solve problems. Complex problems. When parents have problems, your name pops up. Somebody mentions you to somebody. Just like somebody mentioned Joseph to the king in the Bible. If you are not a solution to people's problem, you cannot find a solution to your own problem. The video said, "Oh, your problem solution na ego." Is that what he said? I heard it now. He said, "Oh, your problem solution na ego." The end of of the whole problem is money. If it's not making money, it's not making sense. The reason why all of you came here, the reason why all of you are crediting my account is because somebody talked to you about me. Some of you followed me online. You were convinced with the things I'm saying. You saw proofs. That's why you are ready to part with your money. Are you so stupid that you just go and give your money to somebody? But there is some, I need this thing. And it is because I spend time to work on myself, to get answers to the problems you have today, so I can solve it and I get solution to my own problem. You see the way it goes. So that is the way it goes too. So everything I do here, everything, anytime you come here, everything I do here, put your eye like this. Even if I'm not talking, because I'm human, it's not everything I'll do. But you just see me sit down and I hold this thing. Ask me, Mr. Bakari, why are you looking at it like that? There might be a reason. This is a planet. This is the solar system. This is a planet. This is sun. This is Venus. This is Venus. I might be looking. Is this the right color for Venus? This is the sun. That's why we made it so big and fairy. Do you understand? I might be looking. Is the sun? Is it so yellowish? Can't it be reddish in some area? Because the sun, according to geographers, the sun is a hot, fiery flame of fire. So, am I looking? Shouldn't we have more reddish something on it so that it will really look like that flame of fire? You see the reason why you should be asking questions. So let's start with the biography of Dr. Maria Montessori, the woman who postulated the Montessori method, Dr. Maria Montessori. The Montessori method we are actually talking about is her name, is part of her name. Maria Montessori was born on the 31st August 1870. 31st of August 1870 in the town of Chiaraville. Chiaraville. You can take points. You are going to have this. You have a WhatsApp group already. How many of you are on the WhatsApp group? Okay, you are not on the WhatsApp group. You are not on the WhatsApp group. When we go on break, I'll add you. The PDF of every topic I take is going to be sent on that WhatsApp group. So if you are writing, you can just take points. Now, she was born on the 31st of August 1970 in the town of Chiaraville in Italy. She was an Italian. She's an Italian. Her father, Alessandro, was an accountant in the civil service. And her mother, Renilde Stopani, was well educated and had a passion for reading. The Montessori family moved to Rome in 1875. And the following year, Maria was enrolled in the local state school, breaking conventional barriers from the beginning of her education. As at that time, girls don't go to school. Girls don't go to school. They stay at home, they help their mother until when they are matured enough to go to the seminary, a big convent, where Catholic, Italians are Catholic. Now, Maria initially had aspiration to become an engineer. She wanted to become an engineer. She's a kinesthetic learner. She's this type of learner that likes to build things with her hand. She likes to do things with her hand. So she's a kinesthetic learner. But when she graduated from secondary school, she became determined to enter medical school and became a doctor. To become a doctor. Despite her parents' encouragement to enter teaching, that time you are either what do Catholic people call those reverend mother, reverend sisters, or you're a teacher, or you are at home taking care of your children. Those are the three things women do. Then you don't see women in offices because your place is home. Despite her parents' encouragement for her to enter teaching, Maria wanted to study the male-dominated field of medicine. After initially being refused, with the endorsement of Pope Leo XIII, Porphyro 8, sorry. Maria was eventually given entry to the University of Rome in 1890. It took the Pope at that time to intervene for them to give her admission into the University of Rome to study medicine. The university rejected her. Her parents were also against it. Doctor Ken, how? As how? They are supposed to go to convent now. She became the first female medical doctor in Italy. The first female medical doctor in Italy. Despite facing many obstacles to her gender, Maria qualified as a doctor in 1896. She qualified as a doctor in 1896. Soon after her medical career, Maria became involved in the women's rights movement. You know, she has gone to school now. Education, open your eyes. Like I did that. The moment you get education, you get to what I call the aha point. Many of the students who come here and finish from here get their aha point from here. So much so that 90% of them don't go back to their previous one. They don't. And then will you see any of my students go back to where they were working before? They don't. Before they finish, they will start asking me, Mr. Badare, I can't work in that school because there's no Montessori materials. There's no way I can work in that school. And God has been helping us. Many of them have been getting very, very good job offers. Many. Most of them are head of preschool or head teachers where they are. So, if you are not the owner of your school, be prepared to change job. Because yes, be prepared to change job. Because there are so many information that are coming into you now. That even you will know that that place does not fit you. You don't belong there. You don't belong in that place. Now, Maria joined the research program at the psychiatric hospital clinic of the University of Rome. The psychiatric hospital clinic. You know, every general hospital has a psychiatric section. Every general hospital. Aside from psychiatric hospitals, like in Lutz is not a psychiatric hospital. It's a general hospital. But they have a psychiatric section. Now, if they are having complex cases in that psychiatric section, they can now send that patient to Yaba. Yaba is the main psychiatric hospital, or Arrow. But every general hospital has a psychiatric section. So in that university teaching hospital in Rome, she volunteered to work in the psychiatric unit of the hospital. This work initiated a deep interest in the needs of children with learning disabilities in particular. Now, how did she come about these children? These children are children of patients in that psychiatric hospital. Women who have psychiatric problem and their husband or family couldn't keep the children with them, they had to keep those children with them in the psychiatric hospital. In many of the keeping children in the psychiatric hospital is no longer the norm now, because medicine has improved, and we now know the emotional state of, even if you are just going to visit somebody in the psychiatric hospital, there is an emotional factor, not to talk of you are staying with them. But still, in many female prisons all over the world, children are staying with their mothers in female prisons. Yes. In Nigeria, here, all over the world, Google it, check YouTube, American female prisons. They even have nursery. They have nursery session that they equip like this. I'm talking about developing countries. I'm not talking about Nigeria. I mean, I don't have the emotional power to go to Nigerian prison. I'm not seeing somebody in prison, with a child in prison. But the ones I've watched online, they have nursery. But they have a time frame that those children can stay there. I think in America, it should be like maybe between birth and maybe a year, 6 months or 2 years. They have to take that child out of that place. And then the mother will now go back to the main prison. The reason is that they don't even have space. and they need to, they are quite aware that those children need to be educated. So if the family of the woman is not ready to come and take over the child, they will send that child to orphanage. That child will have to be transferred to an orphanage, to a foster home. This work initiated a deep interest in the needs of children with learning disabilities in particular. The work of two early 19th century Frenchmen, Jean-Marc Itard, who had made his name working with the Wild Boy of Aveyron, and Edward Segal, his student. Maria was appointed as co-director of a new institution called the Orthophrenic School. In 1898, Maria gave birth to Marion, her only child, following her relationship with Giuseppe Montessori, our co-director at the school. At the age of 38, Maria began advocating a controversial theory that the lack of support for mentally and developmentally disabled children was the cause of their delinquency. Mentally and developmentally disabled children. This is the point we are in Nigeria today. Is it not a pity that where they were then is where Nigeria is now? That's why you go to every bus stop, every junction, you see children that are not going to school, that are taking drugs, that are taking cocaine, that are drinking, that are not mentally and developmentally stable. If you go to a cultural roundabout now, they are there. Now I'm talking, they are there at the cultural roundabout. That's why Nigeria is a proof that we are behind. We are far behind. The Montessori method entered India 150 years ago. Yes, 150 years ago. I've worked with Asians. I've worked with Asians in schools on the island. Indians, Malaysians. The Montessori method entered India 150 years ago. Every country that the Montessori method entered is not even up to 50 years. Because I'm 54. And I have the story of my early childhood. If there were Montessori schools then, there's no way somebody like me will not go to Montessori school. Because I'm last born. And my parents are educated. They are very educated. So if there were Montessori school, like 45 years ago, I should go to a Montessori school. I didn't even go to a Montessori school. None of my sisters went to a Montessori school. Meaning Montessori entered here like 40, 35 years. Now look at when it has started. We are like the last, because every theory, every new theory goes. The painful part of it to me is that despite the fact that it's getting to us last, our government is not even ready to embrace it yet. Because if our government is ready to embrace it, it should start from Lagos State. Lagos State is the model state in Nigeria. Anything that will start from Lagos State. Lagos State's primary schools, they are not using Montessori method. Somebody told me they recommended the Reggio Emilia to them. Missy, why you go inside? Somebody said they recommended Reggio Emilia to Lagos State. I will tell you about Reggio Emilia. Now, the notion of social reform became a strong theme throughout Maria's life. The notion of social reform. She stood herself up as somebody who was bent on changing her society. She was the Dora Kuyili of her time. The Dora Kuyili of her time. Our own Dora Kuyili, we killed her with Wahala, we killed her. Even though we don't kill her with gun, we killed her with Wahala. I have a very strong belief that it's even spiritual attack. That cancer that killed that woman is true. Yes, now, because they aimed her physically many times, they couldn't kill her, and so they can send another thing because they want to continue selling fake drugs, fake injections, fake food, expired tin foods that will continue harming us. They are the people against her. Who are the people? Am I the one against her? Inside. Am I the one against her? I'm not doing anything that she's preaching against. Now, Whether it was for gender roles or advocacy for children, Maria was there. In 1901, Maria began her own studies of educational philosophy and anthropology, lecturing and teaching students. From 1904 to 1908, she was a lecturer at the Pedagogic School of the University of London. Pedagogy. This period saw a rapid development. Education brings peace. Education brings peace. When you're educated, I'm talking about quality education. When you have the right information, information is education. What do they give us in school? Is it food that our mothers are not giving us at home? Shebi is teach us facts, give us information, how the world works. When you have quality education, you'll be peaceful. You'll be peaceful. If you don't have peace where you are, you will go and seek peace. Let me tell you, information and education is the reason why marriage is breaking. You made a mistake, you married the wrong person because you didn't have some information. As at that time, your decision making skills was not as good as what it is today. You wake up one day, you have gotten information, you look at him like this. You on the way, if you are even pretty, you'll be doing like this. Ghetto districts are districts where there is a lot of criminality going on. A lot of youth are not engaged. Some of them left Lagos. They have business in Lagos. So they left Lagos, they went back to that place because they've now turned it to a business. That kidnapping thing, they've turned it to a business. So they leave their legit job and go and start doing it. Don't you see the amount of money they take from them when they arrest them? Don't you see money? Money that should be in bank vault is with human being. And the younger ones are seeing it when they show it online. Because our social media space and even our military, they don't even know what they show and what they should not show. When you are showing young children big money and how they got it is through arms and kidnapping, what are you telling them? Children that are already saying school na scam. They are already saying school na scam. So you're telling them that the easiest way to make money is crime, or you're going to it. One such area was San Lorenzo, where its children were left to run amok at home as their parents worked. They don't go to school. They are not learning anymore. Just like those ones at Kotu Roundabout and every other roundabout, Pen Cinema, Beggar, anywhere you go, you will see them there. They are just everywhere. School, they are not going. Work, they are not learning. Government does not have a plan for them. In an attempt to provide the children with activities during the day to fend for the destruction of property, Maria was offered the opportunity to introduce her materials and practice to normal children, not special needs children. So in that orthophrenic school, they went to gather these children, just like, what do we call it? Remand homes. Remand homes, where they take children that are not correctional homes. They took them there and then they made her the head of that home. And there in 1909, she opened her first Casa de Bambini. Casa de Bambini is the meaning of Casa de Bambini. Casa is C-A-S-A G-E-I. Casa is C-A-S-A. J is G-E-I. Then Bambini. B-A-M-B-I-N-I. Casa de Bambini. And the meaning in English is children's house. Children's house. Casa de Bambini is children's house. Casa is house. Bambini is baby. Bringing some of the educational materials she had developed at the orthophrenic schools. These are some of the materials we are using today. The pincher, the brown stairs, the knob cylinder, the red rod, the number rod, the fraction skittles, the decimal blocks, and a lot of them. Maria put many different activities and other materials into the children's environment, but kept only those that engaged them. What she came to realize was that children who were placed in an environment where activities were designed to support their natural development had the power to educate themselves. What is that telling you? That is telling you that your place as a teacher is limited. Don't overprice yourself. You are important. Listen to me. You are important. But when it comes to the child, to the education of the child, your place is limited. Except you have specific information that will make you relevant in the environment of the child. I have gone to school before. I'm consulting for about 4 schools in Lagos. I limited them to that because I had to do my own business. And I've gone to schools before that I saw teachers, and I told the school owner that these children are better off without the teacher. Because some teachers are actually weapons around children. It's better those children are left alone. They will not kill themselves. You just cry, somebody will fall, you will stand up, somebody will use their hand. Because Montessori materials are self-educating and self-directed because they have control of error. I'm not talking in an environment where there are no materials. I'm talking in an environment like it is said here, where activities were designed to support their natural development. It had the power, children have the power to educate themselves. Those children that I use for photo shoots, that some of you have seen on my status on Facebook or WhatsApp, you see that when they came here, somebody went to that place. Another person went to the beach. Another person. I didn't talk to them. Their parents were here. They sat down here. They were looking. I didn't talk to them before the photographer came and I started engaging them. They were educating themselves. They were going from one place to the other. They were looking at the materials. They were studying it. Even the smallest one that is not up to 2 years, he took materials, he was investigating, he was looking at it. Because they were in a prepared environment. The environment had been intentionally prepared for their engagement. So, what makes you important in the environment of the child is how you prepare the environment for the child. Intentionality of how you prepare the environment for the child. What do I want them to do today? What is the best color that can attract them? Look at that grandma farm behind you. The grandma farm with the small house. Chairman touch it. Yes, that's the grammar farm. Now, is a language material. Those things under it, under the table, those things, they are the language symbols. Articles, conjunctions, prepositions, those are their symbols of now. You see the pyramid. There's a black pyramid there. Yeah, that's the pyramid. And then there is a red ball. Yes, that's the verb. It's a grammar farm. It's the last stage of the Montessori language shelf. But when any child any child that comes here, that's always the first place to go. Why do you think they go there? It's attractive. Because of the animals. Because of the animals. The combination of animals, the way it's attractive. And it is intentional. Because every of those animals are doing something that we are going to be using as sentences to help children understand the place of every word in a sentence. That the goat is eating. What figure of speech is there? What is goat? What is? What is eating? in terms of their functionality in language. But then, it's serving other purposes that are even more expository than learning language for me. The aesthetic attraction that draws children close. So, what is this? These animals. You understand? Who's that? Inside material for our first book, published that same year in Italy, appearing in translation in the United States in 1912 as Montessori Method. That's our first book. That was our first book, the Montessori Method, and later translated into 20 languages. A period of great expansion in the Montessori approach now followed. Montessori societies, training programs, and schools sprang up to life all over the world. And a period of travel with public speaking and lecturing occupied Maria so much of it in America, but also in the UK and throughout Europe. Maria lived in Spain from 1917 and was joined by Mario and his wife, Ellen Christie, where they raised their 4 children, Mario Jr., Rolando, Marilena, and Renee. In 1929, mother and son established the Association Montessori International. AMI is the biggest and strongest Montessori institution in the world today. To perpetuate our work, the rise of fascism in Europe substantially impacted the progress of the Montessori movement. By 1933, the Nazis in Germany had closed off all Montessori schools in Germany, with Mussolini doing the same in Italy. They waged war against her. They waged war against her because they saw that the way her method was spreading, she was going to become a force against them. She was likely going to become a president in Rome, a country that does not support the growth of women. She fled to Spain during the Civil War in 1936. That was 89 years ago. Maria and Mario traveled to England, then to Netherlands, where they stayed with the family of Ada Piazzi, who would later become Mario's second wife. A 3-month lecture tour of India in 1939 turned to a 7-year stay. That is where India caught it. That is where India caught it. A 7-year stay when the outbreak of war had Mario put under house arrest, detained as Italian citizens by the British government. In India, Maria began the development of her approach to support the 6 to 12 child through what is called cosmic education. A 70th birthday request to free Mario was granted, and together they trained over 1,000 Indian teachers. Inside. This Montessori will be captured on my face. Oh yeah. Now, 1,000 Indian teachers. 1,000 Indian teachers. What did that do? That made it that in India, there is nobody that went to school that is not a Montessori school. Nobody. Whether you are a doctor in India today, you started from a Montessori school. Whether you are a lawyer, you started from a Montessori school. Whatever, there is no Indian that does not have Montessori foundation. Because their government just made it their public school system. And the change was rapid. Look at India today. Even as populated as they are, India is one of the most populated countries in the world. Their population is large, but then their education is thorough. You want to talk about medical field? Indians are some of the best. You want to talk about engineering? Indians. Technology, that's their home. Phone, technology, tech. Because of the solid foundation they have. In 1946, they returned to the Netherlands, and the following year, she addressed UNESCO on the theme Education and Peace. Maria was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 3 consecutive years, 1949, 1950, and 1951. Her last public engagement was was the 9th International Montessori Congress in London in 1951. Maria Montessori passed away at the age of 81 on the 6th May 1952. That's about 73 years ago. She died 73 years ago. I'm not even talking about the time she established the system in the Netherlands, bequeathing the legacy of her work to her son, Mario. That's our first period. The second period, we're going to talk about the history of Montessori. It's the biography of Maria Montessori we talked about. The second period, the history of Montessori. Questions? Do you have questions? Do you have questions? Because we have to go on like 10 minutes break and then come back. Are there questions for me? Yes.
Can we have the handouts?
You are going to have it, but in soft copy on your phone. You're going to have it in soft copy. Yes. Any other question? Oh, let me ask question. What has just happened to you? Everybody must talk. Yes.
We have been informed.
You have been informed.
Better than when we came.
Better than you came in. Yes. What happened?
It's the same thing we watched.
Okay. You have been informed. What happened?
Even before I come into the environment, seeing things online, I discovered that I'm not gotten to anywhere. I just started. Because the person that introduced me to her, as in that referred me to her, we were colleagues at school before I left her age of work and go to another place. So when she was doing this program 3 years ago, she was like, I must join. I must do this. I said, I don't have time. So when she graduated, when I was seeing things online, I was like, hey, I've missed a lot. Because she came out like a new person. It's a life experience, not that I'm making mouth. Where she stands today, I can't stand it. Honestly, Mrs. Daramala.
I know that
I can't stand it.
the one that works at Obasa School.
Yes, I can't. I now see her like my leader. Someone that we are colleagues. No, serious. Most of the time I would go to her house and ask questions. She was now like, Mrs. Bassi, why are you behaving like this? You that you have experience in teaching. I said, no, it's not experience, I know what I'm saying. So to me, I believe I'm in a new environment to learn. To me, I'm in KG.
So you should be KG.
Yes, I must
Yes.
be sincere. I'm just about to broaden my horizon because let me say I've missed 8 good years of what I also am doing. So I'm about to start another 8 years all over again.
Don't worry, the Lord will give you speech. Okay.
So after that, I'm getting new information that I don't have before, and I see myself like emerging as a new person.
Shema.
For me, I think there's an intentionality in the reason why I'm here.
Okay.
The reason why I'm here. And the point so far made me realize like I don't wrote points down, which I'm like, these are my key points, but each time we talk, another key point comes out. And one of it is like right information gives you new vision and the right direction. So having the right information and like as I'm getting this information is making me rethink my strategies that are probably like built behind it, forgetting my experiences. So that it. And also another important thing is being prepared, having a prepared environment for children. It has to start with me. Be prepared for those.
For me, one thing I want to say is that I love your creativity and innovation. You are somebody that you are always updated at any. I can pick things that is different now from when we began there. You understand? And I I was like, wow, God has the reason why I'm coming back again, because if I'm with those probably they are running now. They are running now. And I could pick different things from that you brought out, and some things you were mentioning. You were always, like you said, intentionality. We are always ready to give the new sex something that will make them want to stay, and it will be different from. Because when you were saying love, I was like, it's just like, can somebody be with you forever? Because it will be like, can you just come back again and you want to be in this environment and you want to be in this? That's what I'm saying.
I said something when we started. I said your why. Now, previously I was operating a teachers training college, majorly for teachers, majorly for adults. There was the consciousness that it's adults that are coming here. So there are some things I even need to do that they are adults. I don't need that one. I'm not operating a school for children. But now we are having everything. We are having a school for children. We are still going to continue. One is not going to kill one. Both is going to continue side by side because they are not even disturbing each other. But then it involves more intentionality now. Another thing is that out of about, let's say I have 100 of you coming here for training, going, coming, 50% of you, or even let me say 70% of you are thinking of having your own thing, doing your own thing, having your own school, even if not in the immediate, in the future. You see, I was also of the school of thought sometimes ago that school people do. They're blocking. School people do. All of us cannot have a school. But then, all of us are not living in the same environment. We are not going to be serving the same people. Now, what made me agree? Because initially, I attended 4 schools in this Lagos, 4 big schools. If I mention their names to you, some of you will know them, and they are doing well. I was the foundation of those schools. I was the one that helped the owners bring it to a level before I left. Some of them, I was the one that wrote the curriculum. They are still using that till today. So I've been in school business. I know school business like the back of my hand. It has not left me, it's here. And there were so many things involved in school business then that made me say, no, I don't want this one. I don't want that type of stress, school business. But then now, what I was doing necessitated me to have a school. Because it's going to serve a purpose, a very, very strong purpose, which will solidify the foundation I'm giving teachers. If I train you, I'm training you now, children are not here. Now, if we get to the stage where I need to move you to the classroom where children are, it's another set of training on its own. Because you are going to be practicing with children. You are going to be sitting down, watching children, observing children, writing notes for me, telling me what you got, evaluating children. In this school that I'm starting, it's going to be daily evaluation. It's going to be like an hospital. It's going to be like an academic hospital. This school is going to be like an academic hospital where we'll be seeing problems daily and we'll be solving. We'll be seeing, we'll be solving. We'll be seeing so much so that I was telling somebody this morning. She said, I should be careful. Oh, teachers are going to be the problem. I said, teachers are not going to be the problem for me. I am not boasting. But anybody that walks through that gate that's going to work with me is going to sign a contract with me. Because I'm going to be pouring myself into you. I'm going to be training you. You can't just walk out on me. No, after I've trained you, you now walk out. How much will I quantify that training to be? What we are doing here, we are charging tuition $500,000. It's what Green Springs is doing for 2 million. It's what they are doing for 2 million. What Heritage is doing for 2 million. And even more. Because Green Springs and Heritage House are not teaching special needs. Their core is only Montessori. Here we are teaching special needs with therapy. And we are charging half a million. That's why I was telling some of you when you were doing inquiries with me that if you don't register this year, by January, you'll be looking at 750. Because that's what the country is looking at. Workers will be paid. Therapists are coming in. I have 5 therapists working with me. Physio, occupational, speech, music, behavior. They are going to be coming at a time in your program. They are going to be coming in one after the other. Each therapist coming one day they go is 15,000. It's even cheap because this is a country. If they are on the island, they will earn more than that. So you see, so there's a lot of intentionality because I know my why. What it has been from 2017 is what it is still today. That I want to produce a teacher for the classroom of every Nigerian child. I want to have a teacher in the classroom of every Nigerian child. Because every Nigerian child deserves to have the best foundational education. And then when we continue to produce them, gradually we begin to see change in the society. If society is failing, it's because the schools are failing. I'm telling you the truth. If you see any negative thing trending in the society, it takes 10 years. I told you that's theory. For trend, it takes 10 years for something new to trend. Some will go and die before that 10 years. Some will continue. Like these crazy jeans. Have you observed that it has started reducing? Have you observed that it was not, people were not wearing it. They are not wearing like they were wearing 2-3 years ago. That you will see a 18-year-old boy come, you will run. You think he's a mad person. Even if they are wearing it now, they are not trying to make it look more decent. It's because the trend is receding. In another 5 years, you might not see crazy jeans again. Another thing might come more, but you might not see crazy jeans again. Now, if a negative trend begins to show face in a society, it's because 10 years ago, the schools were not dealing with it. The schools were not dealing with it. Every bad child, education has so spread in Nigeria that even in the village that they sit under tree, children are still getting educated. We cannot be talking about quality. The way they are teaching it in Lagos is not the way they are teaching it in Anambra or this one, but children are getting educated. 10 years ago, we didn't do a good job on drug and substance abuse. Schools didn't do a good job on drug and substance abuse. I was in the classroom 10 years ago. I was a school head teacher 10 years ago. We're only talking about it in social studies. Alcoholic drink is bad for you. We didn't take children to psychiatric hospitals to go and see what drug has done to the people. We didn't take children to prison. We didn't take children to rehabilitation centers to go and see what drugs have destroyed. We wouldn't have been where we are today. We wouldn't have been where we are today in terms of drug and substance abuse. So, in the next decade, my goal is 2030. That by year 2030, a treasure-trained teacher will be in the classroom of a Nigerian child. And if a treasure-trained teacher is in the classroom of a Nigerian child, I'm talking that a treasure-trained teacher will change 20 children in a year. So if I produce 100 teachers in a year, and each of them are exposed to 20 children each, multiply 20 times 100. You see how many children we can affect in a year? You see how many children? And when these children begin to go with the right information to the society, those ones that are old, that are being rubbish, they are going to continue getting old. They will go off eventually. And then the new breed of Nigerian children will come up. And every one of us will have peace in our homes. We'll be able to sleep with our eyes closed. My sister came home to bury my mom. and she was here, and she was looking at windows of houses around. And she said, "Nǹkan tí ń ṣe ní Nigeria. Something is doing you people in Nigeria. There's a serious problem." I said, "What is that?" I said, "All of you are putting big, strong burglaries on your windows. What if there is fire? How will people escape?" We never looked at it that way. We were only looking at thief. We did not look at fire. Look at what happened at UBA house. Look at what happened at UBA house. If the windows of the ground floors, there were no burglaries there, people will jump and they will not die. People will come out and they will not die. But because everywhere there is burglary, because they don't want them to come in. Look at it. You see? So let's go on break. We'll come back by 12:10. Mr. Lighton, you're welcome. This is Dr. Ibukun. These are the new ones. New ones. This one just started today. Precious. So he's one of the education lecturers. He's taking history of education. They are going to meet him soon. Soon.